The man slowly looks down and sees Yeon-myeong standing there, furious, calm, and surrounded by a sea of corpses. All the guards, once acting like they were untouchable, now lie dead on the ground like broken puppets. Their proud uniforms are stained in blood. On the chest of Yeon-myeong, the man notices one thing that sends a chill down his spine, the emblem of the Righteous Alliance. It makes no sense to him. He wonders why someone from the Righteous Alliance is here. But the cold, sharp, piercing gaze of Yeon-myeong answers everything. These scumbags have been poisoning innocent people with their dirty little pills, pretending to be holy while ruining lives. Yeon-myeong has come to clean up the mess, to destroy every last bit of it. The leader, who looks more like a weak backup dancer than a real threat, begins to sweat like he's been caught cheating in an exam. Still trying to act like he has some authority, lets out a dramatic sigh and tries to make excuses. He claims that these poor, suffering people are under their sect's control. According to him, what happens to those outside the Central Plains isn't Yeon-myeong's business. Basically, this guy's saying we own the commoners, who cares if we ruin their lives. The leader even dares to claim that no harm has come to the Central Plains, as if that makes everything okay. Classic villain logic, burn the backyard and act like the house isn't on fire. But Yeon-myeong doesn't care about their twisted logic. He pulls out a dagger, his words slice deeper than any blade. The war with Kunlun wasn't just a battle, it was their sneaky attempt to grow their demonic cult. And these pills, they're not just poison, they're chains. One dose and people lose control. They become addicted, helpless. And in that weakness, they fall right into the claws of the demon sect. And as his dagger transforms into a massive sword, Yeon-myeong announces that he won't allow this filth to crawl into the Central Plains. Not now, not ever. Not while he leads the Righteous Alliance. The villain, this sniveling excuse for his sect leader, goes pale like he's seen a ghost. In that moment, he realizes the terrifying truth. This isn't just anyone. They've messed with the dark poison sword dragon, Tang Yeon-myeong, and now they're going to pay. Even though the Central Plains are far from this place, rumors still find their way across mountains and deserts like hungry birds. Whispers reach the ears of many that the so-called mighty leader of the Black Death Alliance, the one who once ruled over Sichuan, has been defeated, brought down by the dark poison sword dragon of the Tang family. A new Righteous Alliance has risen from the ashes in Sichuan, with none other than Yeon-myeong at the center. But despite this shocking development, most people in this area don't take it seriously. Why? Because the young sect leader of the Divine Sect and Dark Lord of Destruction, Yeon-jung-hyuk, is on the move. With them loose, people assume no force from the Central Plains can touch Xinjiang just yet. This foolish sect leader starts putting two and two together. If Yeon-myeong is here right now, it means something terrible has happened. He realizes it could only mean one thing. Yeon-myeong has already faced the left and right envoys. Yeon-myeong, hearing this, barely flinches. He refers to those two as weaklings and casually mentions he killed them. No hesitation. No drama, just facts. Because really, why would anyone spare demon dogs that try to murder members of the Alliance? And before this foolish sect leader can spit out more excuses and dumb villain lines, Yeon-myeong cuts him off. He says this is where the talking ends. They can delay the fight all they want, but in the end, the result will be the same, complete destruction. Just then, Yeon-myeong senses something. A sharp, evil energy is flowing toward them. Reinforcements, a big group by the feel of it. More demons crawling out like cockroaches. And of course, the coward in front of him starts boasting again. He says other demon families are coming to help, all because Yeon-myeong dared to stir the pot. He tries to act impressed, mocking Yeon-myeong for coming here alone and killing both envoys. Then, in the most cartoonishly villain way possible, he pulls out a few pills. He throws them at Yeon-myeong and they explode like a cheap magic show. A lot of noise, a lot of smoke, but Yeon-myeong doesn't even blink. Yeon-myeong stands firm, unfazed by the explosion. To him, poison is like air, harmless and boring. Being from the Tang clan, where poison runs through their blood like water in a river, he's always had immunity to these cheap tricks. But then something strange happens. His body begins to ache. A sharp pain stabs through him. He winces not from fear, but from confusion. This isn't normal. Something is wrong. Snaky, his soul spirit, shows up in a panic. It hisses, wondering what's going on. Poison shouldn't work on Yeon-myeong, especially not after all the years of refining and absorbing it like candy. So if it's not poison, what is it? That's when the foolish sect leader opens his mouth again, grinning like he's proud of something. He reveals it wasn't poison at all. It was something called the Nirvana pill. It's not toxic, he says. It's just a sneaky little pill that sharpens the senses and messes with your nerves. It's supposed to help people handle pain. But since Yeon-myeong's body is already strong and healthy, the pill does the opposite. It sends his senses into overdrive, making him dizzy, unbalanced, and vulnerable. Just as Yeon-myeong tries to steady himself, the real rats start crawling in. Reinforcements arrive. A whole group of elite demon sect members showing up like they just walked out of a discount villain convention. They act like this is their moment, claiming that from now on, they'll take care of everything. The sect leader, who clearly thinks he's the star of the show, acts like a proud host at a tea party. He thanks the demons for showing up, even though they probably had nothing better to do. Then he brags about how he's captured the leader of the Righteous Alliance as if that's some grand achievement. The others are confused. They thought Yeon-myeong was off fighting the forces of the Dark Lord of Destruction. They wonder what he's doing here. The sect leader says it is better to capture him and verify. He then tells them with a smug face that before they arrived, he managed to make Yeon-myeong breathe in the Nirvana pill. Since Yeon-myeong's in perfect health, the pill didn't kill or weaken him. It just caused chaos in his senses. It's the kind of underhanded nonsense you'd expect from a clown who can't win a fair fight. That's when everything changes. Something sparks inside Yeon-myeong. His eyes begin to glow with a strange light. The clowns from the demon sect think this is their chance and rush at him like fools chasing a firefly, completely unaware they're walking straight into a storm. But instead of struggling, Yeon-myeong starts laughing. It's not the laugh of a man in pain. It's the laugh of someone who's just unlocked something dangerous. The air around him stills. It feels like time itself has frozen. Then he vanishes. They're stunned. One of them finally spots him, not on the ground, but flying in the sky. His glowing eyes glare down like judgment itself, and there's a smirk on his face that says he's done playing games. The sect leader is speechless. Yeon-myeong didn't just survive the Nirvana pill, he's using martial arts after taking it. And not just any martial arts. He's moving like a dream turned real. Yeon-myeong himself doesn't fully understand what happened, but what he can see now is far beyond normal. The energy around him, the flow of the world, is now clear, detailed, almost amplified. He pulls out his needles, the signature weapons of the Tang clan, and knows in this moment he can finally do something he's only ever imagined. He spins midair like a deadly fan slicing through the sky and starts throwing the needles with perfect control. The idiots below can't believe what they're seeing. They've never seen someone move like that in the air, not in real life, maybe not even in their dreams. More needles follow, faster, sharper, precise. His eyes can see the energy patterns clearer than ever, and he manipulates them with ease, spreading his attacks like threads across the air. The sky itself turns green as if nature decided to join in the punishment. Then it begins. Like green shooting stars, the needles come crashing down. One by one, the elite demon clowns get wiped out instantly. No struggle, no defense, just pure, unstoppable destruction. The battlefield becomes silent. What remains is the leader standing alone, unable to process what just happened. What he witnessed wasn't a fight. It was a massacre, a rain of death falling from the heavens. Yeon-myeong calmly lands on the ground. He tells the sect leader that he came here with one goal, to punish these lowlifes. He never knew they would give him an enlightening reward in return. The sect leader, still standing there with his mouth hanging open, can't make sense of it. A reward. He wonders what kind of maniac sees this chaos and pain as a gift. Yeon-myeong simply smiles and says, "Shall we bring this to an end?" Meanwhile, what really happened with the Nirvana pill starts to make sense. That pill was meant to numb pain completely, dragging the body into a fake peaceful state. But if someone uses too much of it, the opposite happens. It overloads the senses and destroys the nervous system. A sneaky trap disguised as a medicine. But Yeon-myeong isn't like everyone else. Thanks to the poison cleansing light chi in his body, the excess effects of the pill were absorbed and refined. His body adjusted, balancing it to the perfect limit he can handle. And as a result, instead of breaking down, his senses become clearer than ever. The pill didn't dull him, it sharpened him. Now, Yeon-myeong has reached a state that feels almost godlike. It's similar to the power he once had in his past life. Everything around him feels slower, sharper, and easier to control. The pathetic sect leader watches all this horrified. No one, absolutely no one, has ever managed to overcome the Nirvana pill, but Yeon-myeong has made it look like a warm-up stretch. Yeon-myeong doesn't care about being first or special. He just thinks to himself that this might be his last time experiencing this kind of insane clarity, and he'll use every bit of it. His aura flares. It's not just stronger, it's massive. Waves of chi ripple out from him like thunder in a storm. He looks at the foolish sect leader and makes it clear that he has completely overcome the effects of that pill, and instead of weakness, he has gained the ultimate power, and this is all thanks to him. The villain panics. He knows he's no match, but he refuses to go down quietly. He mutters to himself, thinking how he's not allowed to use that forbidden technique, but desperation leaves him no choice. He presses several pressure points, trying to force some kind of power-up. Maybe he thinks he's going to pull off a transformation. In his mind, he probably sees himself turning into a god. But what actually happens, he transforms into an Indian version of Sukuna, a red mess with bad lighting. There is no fear in the eyes of Yeon-myeong, just pity, because this wanted demon lord doesn't look terrifying. He looks like a walking turd about to get flushed. The newly transformed sect leader charges at Yeon-myeong with everything he's got. Muscles bulging, face twisted, energy flaring. He probably thinks this is his big N9 moment. But let's be real, he looks more like a balloon about to pop than a warrior. Meanwhile, Yeon-myeong is doing something completely different. He's not bothered by the incoming attack. He's not even thinking about it. Instead, he focuses on the strange clarity gifted by the Nirvana pill. He knows the effect won't last long, so he decides to use this moment fully. The flow around him, it's not a dream or some illusion. It's real. It's the natural path of energy in the world, and now for the first time he can see it as if it's written in the sky. His glowing eyes track every movement, every pattern. It's the same energy he once mastered when he held the title of Sword God in his past life. Now he sees a chance to create something new. If he adds his internal energy to this natural flow and releases it in one burst, he can give birth to an entirely new technique. And that's exactly what he does. He activates the move, Countless Totality, a wave of sword techniques released all at once as if time bends for him. The best part is Yeon-myeong doesn't even move. Yet the sect leader, mid-charge, is suddenly hit from all directions. Dozens of strikes slice through him. He looks confused, like someone told him the test was multiple choice, but all the answers are wrong. Before he can even understand what's happening, it's already over. His body is torn apart, and a massive explosion follows. The attack is so powerful, it doesn't just kill him, it wipes out the entire clan headquarters. Buildings crumble. Earth shatters. Not a single piece is left standing. Snaky manifests itself and is stunned. One move, one technique, and it erased an entire sect from existence. Not a single life remains. Snaky wonders aloud if maybe they should have left at least one person alive for questioning. But Yeon-myeong, always calm and focused, says there's no need. Leaving one behind just means leaving a future headache. He doesn't care about collecting clues. He already knows where the real problem is. He senses it, a huge, terrifying energy beyond this place. That's where the true monster, the demon cult leader, is hiding. Meanwhile, inside the gloomy halls of the demon lord's castle, the demon cult leader is fuming. The left and right guardians were sent out long ago, supposedly to crush the Fire Realm masters, but they're still not back. It doesn't sit right with him. He expected them to return by now, at the very least, in time to complete the spell formation with the little poison demon as the center. But something's off. Maybe someone stepped in unexpectedly. Still, in his overconfident mind, he brushes it off. In his opinion, only a few in the Central Plains could even come close to challenging those two. With the Yeon-myeong patriarch missing, he figures only that old bald monk from Shaolin would stand a chance. But even then, he smugly believes it wouldn't be a problem, because the right guardian's sword holds something nasty inside, an evil spirit sealed there by the power of dark spells. The cult leader is sure that not even the purest Buddhist energy can get through that. But despite all of his trash logic, the truth slaps him. He suddenly freezes. A strange emptiness spreads through the air. He turns toward the direction of the poison demon clan, and that's when it hits him. Every bit of demonic energy from that area has vanished, gone, like someone flipped a switch and deleted them from existence. He jumps to his feet. Before he can speak, the demon lady bursts in like a panicked chicken. She's out of breath and yelling that the Yang family, the poison masters, have been completely wiped out. The demon cult leader tries to play it cool, but even he can't hide the pressure building in his chest. He tells her to calm down, but it's clear he's rattled. He already knows. He felt it in his bones, the annihilation of the entire clan. He tells her to run, find a place to hide. Because if whoever did this is powerful enough to wipe out the poison clan, then this castle is probably next. He releases a thick wave of demonic energy, trying to look tough. He yells whoever dares to touch his sect, they'll pay for it. But let's be honest, after the disaster we just saw, the only one paying is him. Meanwhile, in a strange and eerie place filled with poisonous flowers, Munchin continues his harsh training. The air is thick with wild demonic energy, and it's messing with his body and mind. He's lost track of time completely. His head spins. His thoughts blur. No matter how much he tries, he still can't get used to the raging energy. It tears through him from the inside. He falls again, his body slamming against the ground. His skin rips, his bones crack, but his body keeps healing, over and over. But even regeneration has a limit, and right now he's hitting it. The worst part is it's not even his body that's breaking first. It's his mind. His thoughts are turning dark and unstable. If this keeps up, he knows he'll end up as nothing more than a beast, an empty, mindless monster. But he refuses to let that happen. not before killing Yeon-myeong. That one goal keeps him holding on. So he grits his teeth and tells himself to just take the pain. His body can recover, but his pride, his hatred, that's all he has left. Then an idea hits him. If the demonic energy won't stop attacking him, then maybe he should stop resisting. Instead of fighting it, he decides to use it. He guides the wild energy through key points in his body. He pushes it into his meridians, his governing and conception vessels, and tries to connect them all the way to the core of life and death. It's a crazy move, and most people would have died just thinking about it. But Munchin doesn't care. In his twisted mind, the only way to escape this suffering is to become something greater. A supreme demon. That's the level he believes he must reach to have even a chance of defeating Yeon-myeong. Time passes. His body goes through hell. Parts of him literally explode. Blood sprays, flesh burns. But strangely, it doesn't hurt anymore. His nerves go numb. His mind, instead of breaking, starts to feel clearer. And then he feels it. A sudden rush of power. His body stabilizes. The energy inside him stops raging. He looks down and realizes this is it. His body is now perfect for channeling demonic energy. He's actually stepped into the realm of the supreme demon. He then calls for his little helper, Bangrok. And right on cue, Bangrok shows up, head shaped like a deer, looking like a rejected forest animal that wandered into the wrong anime. He appears and asks if Munchin called for him, acting like some loyal pet. Honestly, with that look, it's a miracle anyone takes him seriously. Munchin turns to Bangrok and asks how long he's been trapped in this poisonous madness. Bangrok replies it's been half a month. Munchin starts laughing, loud and smug. In just 15 days, he's become an extreme demon, a level most people never reach in their entire miserable lives. And in his rotten little heart, this only means one thing. He's getting closer to revenge. He takes a look around. The area is destroyed. Flowers, land, everything is rotting from the poison leaking out of him. The place looks like a demonic wasteland. That makes him feel proud. Realizing he's still standing there with his body barely covered, he finally decides it's time to put some clothes on. He wants to meet the cult leader and show off his new power. But then he notices something strange. The sky, once dull and lifeless, is now covered in thick, swirling thunderclouds. The air grows heavy. Even Munchin, who thinks he's a big shot now, feels something is off. He turns to Bangrok, asking what the hell is going on. Bangrok is lost. Even this weird, deer-headed goon seems nervous. Eventually, he tells Munchin that the Lord of the 10,000 demons has descended. Munchin gets confused. He thinks the cult leader himself must be coming, maybe to congratulate him or something equally arrogant, but Bangrok quickly corrects him. The cult leader is strong, sure, but he's just the local boss. He governs demons in this land. The Lord of the 10,000 demons, though, is a whole different level. That title belongs to only one being, the one even demons whisper about in fear. A being known by many names, but in this land, there's only one name that truly matters. The Heavenly Demon. Munchin freezes. The thought that someone exists above the cult leader, someone even more powerful, rattles into his core. For so long, he believed the cult leader was the ultimate force, the one pulling all the strings. But now that belief shatters like glass. Just as he's trying to understand this new reality, he glances over at Bangrok and gets hit with another surprise. Bangrok, the weird deer-headed sidekick who didn't even bow to the sect leader, is now down on his knees without saying a word. That alone tells Munchin everything he needs to know. This isn't just another high-ranking demon. This is the being. A figure descends from the sky, cloaked in a presence that could crush mountains. Munchin stares, and for a moment he wonders if he's looking at a god. The closer the figure gets, the heavier the air becomes. It's not like the usual demonic energy he's used to. It's something far beyond that. It's pure, terrifying authority. The figure speaks. He looks at Munchin and says he is holding his head quite high for a low-life thug. And the next moment, Munchin is blasted backward, like a leaf caught in a storm. He flies through the air, his body slamming into the poisoned ground. Half of his body is torn apart in an instant, but strangely, it doesn't hurt as much as it should. Munchin quickly regenerates. Thanks to his extreme demon rank and his so-called immortal body, he survives it. Barely. But as he gets up, he feels something worse than pain. Hopelessness. Even if he dies and comes back 1,000 times, he knows he won't be able to touch this man. He could throw everything he has, and it would still be like flicking pebbles at a mountain. He once thought reaching the realm of extreme demon made him invincible, but now it feels like he's still crawling while this man walks among the stars. The heavenly demon turns his attention to Bangrok. In his usual cold and detached tone, he asks who this worm is, the one not from the Yang family, standing in this mind-forged space. Bangrok, trembling like a squirrel in front of a dragon, responds humbly. He explains that Munchin isn't of the Yang family, he's simply the current disciple of the cult leader. The heavenly demon pauses, surprised, truly surprised. He just found out that Munchin, the half-dead creature lying at his feet, isn't some important hair or high-level expert. He's just a lowly disciple, a bottom feeder in the grand world of demonic cultivation. And yet, somehow, this worm survived the force of his voice. Even more surprising, Munchin's mutilated body is already healing. His limbs begin to grow back as if nothing happened. It's unnatural, like watching a weed grow after being set on fire. The heavenly demon watches with mild interest, wondering if this strange body is the result of some advanced demonic art. But no, there's no brilliance in it, just desperate survival. And then the stare. Munchin dares to look up, eyes filled with pride, maybe even challenge. The heavenly demon finds it irritating, like watching a bug puff its chest at a dragon. He mocks in, wondering if Munchin is feeling bold because even his head could grow back after being chopped off. Realizing how badly he's messed up, Munchin immediately bows, groveling like a child caught stealing food. He introduces himself as the lesser poison demon of his clan and formally greets the supreme ruler of the demonic path, the Lord of 10,000 Demons. The heavenly demon doesn't look impressed. He points out that Munchin clearly doesn't understand the meaning of that title, but he's not in the mood to punish every insect that talks out of turn. So for now, he lets it go. He studies Munchin for a moment. The martial art Munchin uses is centered entirely around physical regeneration. A crude trick, one that didn't even exist in his time. It's not strength, it's fear of death wrapped in technique. If he simply took away his control over demonic energy, this so-called immortal body would vanish in seconds. But then something else catches his attention. Despite being a nobody, Munchin carries an enormous grudge. It's so intense, so overwhelming that it actually pulled his attention from across the realms. For an ant to burn with that much hatred, that alone makes Munchin slightly less boring. The heavenly demon moves closer to Munchin, eyes focused like a scientist studying a broken toy. He says he wants to examine the root of Munchin's bottomless hatred. Without warning, he lifts his finger and tells him not to panic because he's just going to take a peek inside his mind. Then, without hesitation, he presses his finger right into Munchin's head like he's poking a melon. Smooth, and as his finger digs in, he begins reading through Munchin's memories. He immediately notices something strange. The blood of Munchin is flooded with toxic energy. It's as if this fool willingly drank extreme poison at some point. The heavenly demon sees the truth. Munchin's so-called immortal body isn't just from technique, it's shaped by obsession, madness, and endless desire. He isn't strong because of talent, he's just held together by pure rage and poison. And as he keeps looking deeper, he stumbles upon something even more interesting. Munchin has a link to the Tang clan, and not just any link. His entire existence is fueled by a burning hatred for its leader, Yeon-myeong. The level of resentment he carries is so intense it's basically carved into his soul. Then comes the real shock. The heavenly demon realizes that this young leader is a descendant of the Wanderless warrior, a legendary figure. That's when he laughs, a deep, echoing laugh that fills the chamber. To him, this isn't a coincidence. This is fate, playing a very twisted game. He considers something for a while. Originally, the enlightenment he's about to give was meant for someone from the Yang clan. But Munchin showing up instead, that's karma. Even though his natural talent is basically garbage, the heavenly demon decides to gift him something beyond comprehension. He gives Munchin his own blood filled with spiritual energy. Blood that refuses death. From now on, even if Munchin's body gets shattered into 1,000 pieces, he will still survive. Just as the blood flows into Munchin's body, everything begins to change. His limbs tremble, his muscles stretch. The energy inside him boils like lava in a volcano. It's intense, wild, and uncontrollable. And then boom, the door to the chamber explodes open. Munchin, still struggling to process everything, is stunned. He wonders what just happened. His senses, now sharpened to extreme levels, kick in. He feels it, two strong energies radiating from the direction of the clan. One of them is clear, it belongs to the demon cult leader. But the other one, it's familiar, heavy, radiant. It can only be Yeon-myeong. And just like that, the reunion Munchin has been dying for is not far. Long ago, the heavenly demon wasn't feared or hated, he was respected. Back then, he led what was once known as the Ming sect, a powerful clan led by the world's most gifted sorcerer. This sect was famous for prioritizing people's well-being and justice. It wasn't just strong, it was beloved. One of their own, he became emperor, and the sect's influence reached sky-high levels. It looked like only a matter of time before the Ming sect became the official religion of the state. That should have been a victory. But pride is a dangerous thing. The sect leader, proud and honorable, was stabbed in the back by the very person he trusted, the emperor. That same emperor, once a brother in arms, feared that the Ming sect's rising power might eventually overshadow the royal family. So what did he do? Like every coward afraid of losing control, he ordered a complete purge. The entire Ming clan was hunted down and destroyed by the full military force of the empire. The betrayal shattered the sect leader. He lost everything: his people, his faith, his future. All that remained in his heart was rage and grief. He had once banned forbidden techniques, but now, in his pain and fury, he embraced them. The very spells he once sealed away became his tools of revenge. He returned fire with fire. He tore through the empire, drowning it in flames and screams. And in that blood-soaked path, he was reborn not as his savior, but as the first sorcerer to defy the heavens. After that, he vanished from the Central Plains and built a new base in the harsh, empty lands of Xinjiang. This is what the world thinks they know. But the truth is the heavenly demon didn't settle in Xinjiang just to escape. He found something else, a new method to increase his power. A system that doesn't rely on spells or forbidden magic, but on evil spirits. Instead of sacrificing himself, he collects these spirits, and as more spirits gather, so does his power. Bit by bit, he begins to transcend, climbing above the limits of humanity towards something far worse: godhood. The original plan of their ancestors was simple: earn trust, win hearts, and rise through faith. But that was all ruined the day the emperor betrayed them. Now they don't bother with kindness or truth. They've given up on earning respect. Instead, they plan to invade the Central Plains, because the people of Xinjiang alone can't give them enough faith or power. But if they create chaos, release all the evil spirits at once, and pretend to be the heroes that save the day, then they can fool the world again. To prepare for a full invasion of the Central Plains, the heavenly demon didn't just sit around in his spooky castle. He sent his son, Yan Zheng-hyuk, to slowly weaken the major powers there. A sneak attack strategy. Typical. Things were actually going well for them. They were just about to defeat big names like Kangtong and Kunlun, two important sects in the region. But fate, or rather bad luck for them, had other plans, because just when victory seemed close, Yeon-myeong showed up. Right now, Yeon-myeong has reached the home of the cult leader. The foolish cult leader sees him and asks why the noble leader of the Righteous Alliance has come here alone, and if he is really planning to destroy their forces single-handedly. Yeon-myeong calmly responds that he has already seen enough filth to justify wiping them all out. He says he's about to send him to join the already dead left and right envoys. That line hits hard. The cult leader can't believe it. Yeon-myeong actually defeated the left and right envoys, his top dogs. These weren't just strong fighters. They were supposed to be untouchable monsters. And yet, here stands Yeon-myeong, calm as ever, like it was just another day at work. Yeon-myeong does not waste more time. He has had enough talks. He just draws his sword and unleashes the destruction sword technique, one of his most lethal attacks. The air trembles. The ground splits. But what happens is that the old crusty cult leader blocks it with a talisman. That's right. Just a flimsy piece of paper stops a sword move that can level mountains. It's the most annoying kind of magic, no effort, all effects. That one move tells Yeon-myeong everything. This isn't just another overconfident martial artist. This guy is something worse, a defying heaven sorcerer, someone who fights with twisted spells and cursed energy instead of skill and grit. Snaky pops into view, floating beside Yeon-myeong like the creepy commentator he is. He confirms it. The power coming from that talisman, and the cult leader's aura proves it. They're dealing with real sorcery now. The cult leader, clearly loving the attention, grins like a wrinkly B-grade villain and says it was fate for them to fight. He claims he's going to show Yeon-myeong what a real sorcerer battle looks like. Then he starts chanting, and oh boy, here comes the drama. He summons his pet. Not a wolf. Not a tiger. Nope. This dude summons a three-headed, one-footed eagle that blocks out the sky like it's got VIP access to the clouds. The thing looks like it crawled straight out of a nightmare and landed on the wrong anime set. Yeon-myeong and Snaky both pause. Even Snaky, who never shuts up, is stunned. He didn't think this wrinkly weirdo had something this dangerous in his back pocket. The eagle's strength is unreal, possibly on par with Snaky's current power. One thing is clear. This fight just went from dangerous to legendary. The three-headed eagle, flapping above like a cursed weather balloon, suddenly pauses and turns toward the cult leader. It senses something strange, something besides Yeon-myeong. The cult leader nods. He knows. That strange presence floating near Yeon-myeong isn't just some shadow. It's an evil spirit. What's strange is that Yeon-myeong isn't even a sorcerer, yet he keeps Snaky close like a pet or a battle companion. It's something even this ancient sorcerer didn't expect. Without wasting time, the cult leader orders the giant bird to go after Snaky. The eagle, flapping its weird one-footed body, swoops down with sharp focus. Snaky doesn't panic. He tells Yeon-myeong to focus on the wrinkled old clown while he handles the bird-brained beast. Then, like a snake possessed, he launches himself at the eagle, fangs bared and energy crackling. A massive clash breaks out between Snakey and the mutant feather monster. Yeon-myeong watches for a moment. He knows Snakey is probably using this chance to test out his new strength, so he lets him have at it. No babysitting needed. Meanwhile, the cult leader starts yapping again, trying to show off his insight. He guesses that Snakey must be a blue-horned white snake, a rare spirit linked to the Tang family. But something is off. Snakey has turned black, which confuses him. Maybe the snake got edgy, or maybe it just stopped doing skincare. Either way, the cult leader takes it as a sign if Yeon-myeong has brought something this dangerous, then he can't hold back anymore. Suddenly, he summons another Pokemon of his. Yeon-myeong braces himself for something flashy, but nothing happens. Then boom, something bursts out from beneath the ground like a horror jump scare. A massive, sumo wrestler-shaped spirit shoots up and grabs Yeon-myeong with thick, chunky arms. This thing, it looks like a ghost that gave up on the gym and lived off fried demons. It wraps around Yeon-myeong and flings him through the air like he's a cricket ball in the middle of a backyard match. The throw is so powerful, it sends shockwaves. Snakey sees it and actually looks worried, which says a lot. And of course, the evil doesn't miss its chance. It swoops in and pins Snakey down, acting all smug while shoving him into the dirt like it's playing whack-a-mole. It mocks Snakey, telling him not to get distracted during a fight. The cult leader stands there grinning like he just pulled out a rare trading card. He introduces the big guy, Ghost King, the strongest evil spirit in his collection. It's not just strong, it's sacred to their twisted little sect, bound to the Yang family's bloodline for generations. He tells Yeon-myeong he should feel honored. After all, no one has seen this creature in hundreds of years. The cult leader, clearly thinking he's got the upper hand, tells the Ghost King to finish off Yeon-myeong once and for all. The big oaf of a spirit roars in agreement and summons a massive sword, something so huge it looks like it could slice mountains. It brings the sword crashing down on Yeon-myeong, smashing the ground beneath him like a divine hammer. Dust explodes everywhere. Snakey, pinned nearby, grows tense. He starts to worry, but before he can spiral, a mysterious voice reminds him to focus. He's getting too soft, and he still has his own oversized chicken to deal with. Just then, boom, Yeon-myeong bursts back into the action, deflecting the attack of Ghost King like it was nothing more than a mosquito bite. The cult leader's eyes widen like a shocked emoji. This wasn't supposed to happen. During their clash, Yeon-myeong figures something out. The Ghost King isn't just some big evil blob. It was man-made, a twisted creature built from thousands of high-level formations. Layers and layers of sorcery stacked together to create one enormous cursed tank. Yeon-myeong realizes that using a regular attack won't do much. A ripple attack could shatter the layers, but it's too wide and might hurt Snakey too. So instead of brute force, he pulls off something smarter. He compresses the ripples, tightens the range, and fires a new precision technique. With lightning-fast follow-up strikes, he targets the weak points of the Ghost King's structure. 1, 2, 3. The creature begins falling apart like wet clay under a hammer. The cult leader watches, completely lost. No spellcraft, no sorcery, and yet the Ghost King, his pride's possession, is getting wrecked. He starts questioning everything. Where did Yeon-myeong even come from? What kind of monster is this? He glances toward the eagle and things are even worse there. Snakey is now winning. Turns out, once he saw Yeon-myeong was okay, he stopped holding back. The oversized chicken is getting grilled and Snakey's the chef. And as for Yeon-myeong, he finishes the Ghost King with style. The massive spirit is completely destroyed. No struggle, no last roar, just silence. Yeon-myeong, as calm as ever, mocks the cult leader, asking if this was really his best trick. But the cult leader isn't out of cards yet. He admits defeating the Ghost King is impressive, but to him it only proves Yeon-myeong is young and lacks deeper skill. Suddenly, a dark purple aura begins surrounding him. He claims that while Yeon-myeong was busy, he wasn't sitting idle. Then he vanishes, just like that. No sound, no flash. It's not teleportation. It's not some flashy divine escape. It's like his entire existence simply disappeared from the world. Yeon-myeong realizes something is off, especially with Snakey. His ally suddenly starts screaming. Something is wrong. Something bad. Snakey is being bound by the cult leader's invisible sorcery. Yeon-myeong can't even sense the guy anymore. It's like he's fighting a ghost that doesn't want to play fair. The cult leader then turns to the eagle, clearly disappointed. He calls it a disgrace for losing to Snakey and blames it for being weak. Then, pulling out what looks like a prehistoric demonic card, he tells the eagle to come back. Because if the eagle dies now, that would be a major blow to their already crumbling strength. The cult leader, trying to act like he's still in control, admits the loss of the Ghost King hurts, but then he smirks and says it's fine because turning Snaky into his personal servant would make up for it. Snaky, still pinned but far from polite, tells him to shut it. He doesn't even know this clown, but the cult leader keeps smiling like he's narrating bedtime stories. He says his ancestors once helped the invisible guest capture the Earth Dragon, so Snaky technically owes their sect a favor. Snaky nearly chokes on the stupidity. Holding grudges and favors across thousands of years, across bloodlines, now that's next level petty. It's honestly pathetic. What even more pathetic is thinking Snaky would ever bow down to some fossil-faced failure like this. Still, Snaky doesn't even waste time arguing. He tells the cult leader to maybe look around for once, because Yeon-myeong is already in motion, about to strike him down. Yeon-myeong charges with deadly intent. His sword slices through the air, glowing with compressed energy. But just before the attack hits, the cult leader pulls out another talisman, like a magician at a birthday party who keeps pulling tricks from his sleeves. The strike lands, or so Yeon-myeong thinks, but when the dust settles, something is wrong. The blow didn't connect like it should have. The ground is littered with coffins, dozens of them. At first, they just look like creepy decorations. Then he realizes it's not the coffins. It's what's inside them. They actually blocked his sword. Yeon-myeong narrows his eyes. No normal body could stop his technique. These things, whatever they are beyond monstrous. The cult leader announces that while the Ghost King was his strongest spirit, it wasn't his best card. That honor belongs to this twisted little collection. He says he didn't want to play this hand yet, but Yeon-myeong forced it out of him. Inside these coffins are the bodies of 30 ancient masters, including 3 Fire Realm masters and an extreme demon master who have existed since the time of their ancestors. That's right, 30 elite corpses preserved and cursed to serve like puppets. And now, there is trump card. And that was it from today's video. I hope that you liked the video, and if you did, hit that like button as the goal for today is 1,500 likes. Comment next part down below to see what happens next. Also, consider subscribing with the notification bell on to get notified as soon as a new video drops onto the channel. You can also join the channel to support me financially and watch videos before public release. I'll meet you in the next video. Until then, thanks for watching.